Photographers, your industry has never been so saturated. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people out there who can all take photos. And the biggest problem is mobile phones. And what that's meant is that for anyone starting out in photography, the bar has already been raised so high. Because whereas before they needed to employ your services to take even simple photos, now most people's ability enables them to take a good photo that will do. So the baseline is now here. So you have to far exceed that before you can even start making a penny. And not only that, you've got so many people to compete against to win that work. So in this video, I want to give you some actionable steps that will help you grow your photography business and get started and actually generate some money so that you've got the edge over everyone else in the industry. If you're new around here, then my name's Ross and I run a video production company here in the UK. And I've gone from being a freelance photographer and freelance videographer through to employing a team of people, having a studio, and now working with major clients all over the world. And photography is a huge part of our service offering. So you guys can follow throughout this video. I'm going to start from complete basic essentials through to growing your business and more experienced people out there who are perhaps finding it a little bit harder at the moment to find the right clients. So first things first with photography, you have to develop your skill set. And that's only going to get better by learning from many people on YouTube who will go through the creative side of things and through going out there with a camera and taking photos yourself. Unlike videography where you have to film and then go through the editing process before you can produce something. I mean, I know it's the same for photography, but it's much quicker. You can literally just run around and take loads of photos. Within a day, you'll be able to practice your skill set and develop so much quicker. But remember, you're starting a photography business and people forget about the business side. And that's what we've dedicated our time to on this channel, is helping filmmakers, videographers, photographers, and video editors to grow their creative businesses, because it's the area where we all probably lack the most. And without it, we can't have any success. So if you're starting out, we have to focus on increasing the quality of your work. And there's a few ways we can leverage this, which will then lead to paying clients later on. So the first thing is using a free to fee strategy. So you go into businesses and you ask them if you can take some photos for free, if they're open to having a conversation about doing some paid work later on. You're then able to take some photos, develop your skills and your portfolio, which is going to be really important for convincing future clients to pay you. And then it also opens up that conversation to that business, if they like your work, to talk about future projects. You're then going to want to get yourself a nice website to showcase your portfolio. And it is easier if you can categorize your website into different industries. So if you're doing events, fitness, construction, restaurants, bars, whatever that may be, just go through and categorize it so it's easy for any potential clients who are looking to work with you to see the type of work that you have that's relevant to their industry. And it's all about showcasing relevant work to the person you're talking to. Being a freelance photographer is more about having a personal brand than it is about having a business brand like we do as a production company. If your dream is to have more of a production company or more of a business that enables it to operate itself and you employ a whole team of people, then we can position it that way later on. But because this video is more dedicated to freelance photography, you're going to want to make sure that your personal brand is on point as well. So that's doing things like Instagram stories, posting on Instagram feeds, perhaps TikTok feeds, LinkedIn, and actually understanding where are your clients or where are people with money who have money to spend on photography? Where are they hanging out? Where do they spend their time? Is it on LinkedIn? Is it on Instagram? Is it on Facebook? And then just be active there, just showcasing what you get up to. And this is where a lot of creatives fall down, is because they are so good at being one side of the camera that they forget that they have to be in front of the camera too. They have to promote their brand. They have to be out there. And the easiest way to think about this is don't try and create content, because that's hard work, trying to think of new ideas all the time. Just document what you're doing. Hey guys, today I'm doing this. This is what we're doing today. I'm working on this photography shoot today. A little behind the scenes photo, whatever that looks like, just being active with your marketing efforts. I want to talk about some lucrative industries as well. Just before I do, if you get any value out of this video at any point when you're watching it, can you just make sure you're subscribed to the channel? Really appreciate it, and does a lot more than you know, because it helps us grow our audience and tells us that the content we're putting out resonates and is helping people. If I'm a photographer, the key industry I'm going to go after is events, because events is where there is so much money and so much demand for photography work. Now, we're well out of COVID. We're well out of that era of not having any live events on. And when I say events, I'm actually more referring to things like trade shows, corporate events, conferences, conferences, networking, and then obviously that can also lead into music events, action sports events. It would literally take less than 10 minutes to go to an event center's website, so you know where they host like loads of events, and literally look at all the events that they've got coming up. Then you just literally need to email all of those people and see if they've got a photographer in place. Or again, if you lack that portfolio, then why not just get a ticket? Often these events are free to attend. Take your camera, take some photos to build out your portfolio, and talk to people on the stands and say, hey, I'm actually a photographer, I'm just around at the event. Do you want me to do you a selection of photos and it will cost you XYZ? When I was starting out, this strategy was literally the most impactful one that started generating us clients, because I was able to go there, have a chat, take some photos, they were happy, and then it opened up the dialogue for doing future work with them. And the reality here is most photographers just aren't proactive enough. You need to be constantly thinking about the business side, because sure, developing your skills is great, but if we can't generate sales, we don't have a business. And that can be really scary, not knowing where your next project's coming from and not knowing if you've got enough money in to pay the bills that month. Even if you're just doing it as a part-time hobby for now, you're never going to be able to make that jump to full-time if you don't have these things in place. And this is true for those experienced people who are watching this video who feel like their business is plateaued, who just can't really seem to get to where they want to. And it's hard work. It's hard work growing a business, and they're just not really getting the return like they used to. That stagnation of a business is eventually going to kill it. And the importance behind this is realizing what's happening and actually motivating yourself to do something about it. Being proactive, going out there and talking to businesses. And just like videography, it needs to solve a challenge that a particular person is having right now. So for a lot of businesses, it's perhaps their online presence, or it's the fact that they need to build credibility and trust with their clients, and they're not able to do that themselves because they can't produce professional looking content. That's why they hire you. When we think about a customer and we think about what they're trying to achieve, we can really dive into it. So a customer might say their thought process is they need to increase sales. They want to make more money. They want to have more clients. So they want to attract more clients. They need to put out content, and they don't want to put out bad content. Why? Because bad content is going to make them look not professional. So really the deeper reason behind saying, yeah, I just want some photos is potentially, in this example, they want photos because they know that they need to build credibility. They need to build trust and to attract customers into their business. And when you understand that, you can have a much deeper, meaningful conversation, because then it leads to a different type of photo that you're going to take. Perhaps it's then showcasing their business a little bit more. Perhaps it's showing photos of the people in the business. Perhaps that then lead into headshots for their social media profiles. Perhaps that leads into recruitment photos. And you can see that's where having one business, there's so many areas where as a photographer you'll be able to help. And it's all about that repeat business, getting them to come back to you time and time again, because you're not going to want to go and just do half a day, do 20 photos, give it to them and never see them again. That's a waste of everyone's time, because undoubtedly you'll produce content that they enjoy, and then it's about having a conversation about how you can work with them more longer term. Perhaps you use something like an RCP system, which will sign them up to a year contract and give them content every single month so that they can put out high quality content on their social media feeds. This type of system, coupled with diversification for people who are more experienced, is going to see your business skyrocket. There is no photographer out there that shouldn't be offering videography services at the same time. I'm obviously doing myself out of business here, but by offering both, you can solve two challenges at once, and they effectively all complement each other. Now, if you don't do videography yourself, that's fine, but I'm sure you can find a production company or a freelance videographer that would be willing to team up so you can provide more of a full service offering to that client, which is going to increase the average value, the average amount that they spend with you, which is going to help you grow your business. If you want to find out more about those RCP systems or those regular content plans and how that can transform your photography business, even if you're a complete beginner, I'll leave a link in the description to our free workshop. Go check it out. I'm sure you'll get tons of value. And hey, YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy this video right here, so why not take a look at it and see how you can grow your business to the next level.